right, ladies. So finally back. We ain't did Pastel Pillow Talk since COVID took over. Because I'm so sick of Zooming. I don't know.
All right, I can imagine.
Look, they need to bring back Aretha's Who's Zooming Who. That should be the #1 song on the charts right now. Okay.
Look, I bet your students love it, honey. They be at work.
And everywhere else. Okay. And they do. I'm like, you realize you're supposed to. Yeah, you realize you're supposed to be in class, right? Okay, ladies. So anyway, we're here to talk about 40-year-old version. And so what I'll say up front is that it kind of had me from the name because I'm a big fan of 40-Year-Old Virgin. Mm-hmm. I'm a big fan of that movie. I think it's absolutely hilarious. So I saw, what's her, is it Radha? Radha Blank? Is that her name?
I think it's Radha Blank.
Yeah.
The lady who wrote the thing?
Yeah. Yeah, she wrote it, directed it, and starred in it. Yeah, I'm not sure what Lena Waithe had to do with it. Lena Waithe had something to do with it. But I saw an interview with her and I was like, oh, okay, I might watch that just because of the name. And so I'm not gonna start with me. Who wanna start?
Keisha gonna start with that.
Matter of fact, Keisha, did you like it or not?
I was
1 to 10.
I did like it. It was hilarious. Now, in the beginning, it was a little slow. In the very beginning, but after the beginning, I would give it an 8, probably an 8. Now, I did enjoy the comedy. Some of the things that you would think about saying, they just said it. I mean, so it was raw. Kind of had a love story, but I love the comedy. So overall, I would give it an 8.
An 8. Okay, what'd you think about it now?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna give it a 5.
Okay. So you didn't like it much?
No, it was stupid to me. Well, I say that because, for one, I ain't fit to be 40 years old trying to get no damn career. I mean, like, if I ain't got it by now, then whatever I'm doing, I'm gonna make the best of it. But that's my opinion. And then, like, how is you sitting up here screwing a young man and all that? I don't know. That just seemed a little too much for me. I don't know.
They're the best ones to screw.
Right.
I know, but I mean, it's just like, I guess when you really look at the way that we try to prioritize our lives, even though I have not done that as a person, but I'm okay with where I am because I've stayed consistent with what I've started doing. Just like how y'all got y'all's careers and y'all going moving forward. Like, ain't nobody trying, you just, I don't know, it just says a lot about us as women when we have to retch around like that. Like, I don't know, I didn't like that part because it kind of remind me of how Stella got her groove back. And then but I mean, I don't know, I just didn't like that part. Then I didn't like the fact that how's you letting these kids get down like that? Like she had no control or whatever with all of that. Y'all ain't supposed to be doing this up in my classroom. Let's try that down somewhere. I don't know. I was just like, this don't be happening because old school woman or 40-year whatever, honey, we would have put a handle on that real quick.
Okay.
Then she want to be a rapper. Like a rapper? No.
She was cold.
Okay, for one, she was cold as a rapper. So she should have been doing that from the beginning.
That was her passion.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see, but why we wait till we're 40 to decide you want to be a rapper? That just remind me of that movie with that Gabriel Union and that dude talking about he a rapper. She said, okay, I just met a 40-year-old rapper eating scrimps.
Oh, yeah. Was that Daddy's Little Girl?
Yes. I don't know. I just seen a lot of things that I didn't like about it, but I get it. where we live now in this day and time. It don't matter. The 40 is the new 20s for some people.
Okay, so Nary, I'm sorry. So Dominique, what did you think?
I gave it a 10, just because I like that kind of stuff. I like the music. I love the whole East Coast feel. I'm in love with East Coast, but I think I love the rawness of it. It felt real to me. It felt authentic. The inner urban struggling with the kids, to me, that's very real. You gonna have troubled kids, and I loved her. I loved the dry humor in it. It had me thinking about Issa Rae's Insecure. Like
Yes,
it
that's
made
what
me,
I said. Yeah.
So I and like I said, her rap skills, like she was killing it.
Cold.
Like I think it was just, I think for her it was just, okay, maybe being a rapper, I'm not answering this true calling of what a professional woman should be doing. So I think she probably shied away from it, which her skills feels like she shouldn't have. It feels like you should have just kept going. But that whole East Coast vibe and going to see the different people perform and have different battles, I like that, because I'll watch the rap battles from time to time. And if you pay attention to them, they are some of the coldest that ever do. You never get to hear these people because they're not mainstream.
Right.
So I loved every aspect of it, like the dry humor. Her facial expressions in it cracked me up. I like that. I like the play on that, but I liked it. I gave it a 10.
Okay.
So
well,
Nari,
and so I can see how.
So Keisha gave it an 8. Nary didn't like it at all. Gave it a 5.
Nari, you just have to keep the negativity away from this.
And Dominique gave it a 10.
I can see why Ray Ray would like it, because you got to be into that hip hop. Like, I don't like New York nothing. I don't like they rap, but I'm not big on rap anyway. Like, and if they get the cussing and all that, you lost me a long time ago. Like, I can't stand it. That's just me. You know what I mean? I never did like rap. I like how Cardi B and all them.
The Too Short imitator don't like rap all of a sudden.
No. What I'm saying is that hip hop, and then, like, I guess since I got older, like, I don't like all that cussing and all that. So when like, I won't listen to it. Like, I'm not into it. That's what I mean. So, and then hip hop in New York, I couldn't get into that, no way.
None of that had profanity in it. This was like the cleanest rap.
Yeah.
Right.
No. I wasn't saying that she did that. I'm just saying I'm not big on rap because most of it is vulgar. Yeah. So I didn't get into it.
I gave it a 10. Dominique took the words right out of my mouth. I love the main thing I loved about it, because I'm not all big on rap or whatever. No matter what coast it's from, I like some of it, but I'm not real big on it. But the main thing I loved about it was the dry humor, because even us as family, it reminded me of us. The facial expressions, the way you say certain things, the way, you know what I mean? It's like I got all of it. I felt her skills was off the chain, and not so much in reference to rap, but I like poetry. So even when you go hear poetry and different things like that, I liked a little friend in it.
Oh, he was hilarious.
Yeah. And I'm a major fan of the homeless man across the street.
Boy,
that's where I got my 5 from.
I was looking for him to have more of a role after reading y'all's comments on the text thread.
Yeah, he didn't have a major role, but I think he added something to the movie.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think it also had me thinking, like, do we get a certain age and start analyzing everything, saying, okay, let me take a totally different road?
It's
Well, I
so
think
funny
you
because that's literally where I am in my life right now, as I'm about to be 40 this year. Um, it literally made me think of course, you know, with me starting this business, as soon as I get a couple clients, I'm quitting my job. Like I'm just into this zone of discovering different parts about myself,
Right.
things that I never paid really too much attention to. Um, you know, it was
Right.
just like an inner perspective. I The last year or so, I feel like I've been doing some soul searching to some degree, and you know, about to switch some things up and figuring out what I need to do, and things are a little differently. You know, using the bathroom there. If I gotta pee, I gotta pee like right now. Like that's never happened to me. I'm like, what is this? Like there is no, I mean, you know, just different changes you start getting as you get older. So yeah, it was an eye opener in that aspect. You get older and you start, you know, reevaluating some things.
Yeah, well, even kind of piggybacking off what Nari said, do you feel like there's a certain age that you're too old to reinvent yourself?
Nope. I don't think I promise you, just because I have a different outlook on life itself, just because I feel like life is so short. And hell, if you don't do it, then what? I mean, you die and then what? I mean, you never get to experience something that you probably always wanted to do. And that's just like you see 60 and 70-year-olds graduating from college and getting their degrees now,
Right.
and most of which probably can't do a whole lot with it, but this is their life. I mean, if you're not going to live it to your best, then, you know, to me, you're kind of wasting away. And, you know, if you can do it, no matter how old you get, do it. If you feel like doing it, do it. Get it out. I mean, you know, go for it.
I applaud her courage, because what she was doing was not making her happy and content. And I felt like when she did the whole scene where they had given a standing ovation for her play, she didn't feel like it was hers. So the courage just to like, hey, I'm not gonna do what makes me happy and content. And I think that it doesn't really matter what age you are. I mean, because you can change jobs, you can change, you know, just do something that makes you happy. You can have wealth and acceptance, but are you happy with it? And so I kind of looked at that movie in that aspect. But overall, it was hilarious. I hadn't laughed like that in a long time. Just the different, it has so many nuggets in the film.
And I think it goes back to what just where you are and what you want to do in life. Like some people, like Ray Ray, where she is, and I mean, she don't have like a family yet, and she's about to be married. Like she's still working through, you know, like she went to school, she got her career, and now she's steady advancing to something to get to where she wants to be. But some of us, like myself, where I started and where I am now, I don't have like a whole bunch of regrets about a lot of things because I've learned to accept where I am, and I'm trying to, you know, just move forward. And where do you go from here being a little older than 40? Like, I guess, you know, it's just kind of like you know, you got your grandkids, like life is moving in a different direction. So I think it really depends on what direction you going to. Like if you in a single life, not the married setting and all that kind of stuff, it makes a difference in where you are, what you want to do, and what you're trying to do. So you can keep advancing and because some people just bored and uncontent with themselves, so they continue to try to reach out and do stuff. And like, oh, okay, well, I went to school, I got this degree, but they ain't doing nothing with it. So then they're gonna go back to school. And you never know why people be doing some of the stuff they be doing, but there's something missing there, and they steady reaching for something, whatever that is.
So you feel like if you are married with kids, you shouldn't do or try to do what makes you happy?
No. I'm saying like where my life started, and I didn't necessarily reach for like trying to go for this, go for this, go for that. It's like I'm content where I am, is what I'm saying. So like now you like I'm married, I got the kids is grown, they at the house. So I'm saying my direction is moving forward to, just settling down, return and traveling or something. I'm saying I'm okay where I am. I'm saying that's the direction my life from where
but
it started
if you
to
look
where
at
we
the
are.
movie, she didn't have kids. She wasn't.
That's my point. I'm saying like Ray Ray. That's why I said Ray Ray. Like Ray Ray, she's not married. She's about to be married. She did the whole school thing, got her degree. She's in the field where she read for. Now she's trying to reach. She steady advancing to something else because she has a goal that she steady reaching, and now she's reevaluating where she is now. At one point, I was doing that. Okay, like now it's time to settle down, buy that house, get married and try to raise these kids and work a job and make ends meet with somebody. I'm saying basically for me, there was nothing else out here that I really cared to, advance to try to do. Like you want to be a business owner or whatever. The only thing that I really would like to do is just have a good paying job. So I guess I don't really want a whole lot. I'm saying I'm not a person that like to be all over the place doing a whole bunch of things or whatever, or steady trying to create new things all the time. Like I think it just depends on your contentment and where you are.
Right. Well, I think that's kind of what Keisha was saying. She wasn't content in what she was doing. I think she liked what she was doing, but sometimes it's hard to get the right connections. It's hard to get because the one guy she ended up talking to in the movie, the one she ended up doing that actual play for, was who she had been trying to work with anyway. But I think she wanted something more meaningful out of her talent.
I think the boyfriend or the boy toy, which I think actually will probably be the boyfriend. I don't think just because he's 26 they couldn't. He's showing his grown man tendencies. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He looks like he was on his grown man stuff. So
well, that was going to be my next question. What was your opinion on that whole relationship between her and the younger guy?
I felt like he pulled the real her out of her. Like I felt like she settled for this. Yes, she had an interest in it. But I feel like she settled for what she's now doing with the playwright thing. I felt like it woke up something in her to have somebody say, hey, this you good at this, like and just be on the same level with that with her. So I think it was something that kind of woke that up again in her. And I think they'll be great together, to be honest.
I agree with Dominique. He allowed her talent for her to develop her talent and make it hers. It was hers. The play was not hers. It was some of hers, but they altered it to where it wasn't really hers anymore. And I think that's the big thing about this movie, to where she found something that she was passionate in. She might have been passionate at one time, but they had altered it and they kind of just took the taste out of her mouth to where it wasn't becoming to her anymore. So I mean,
yeah,
she was dope. Yeah,
I'm not a big fan of the older younger thing, because I think a lot of times people get in situations where you end up in two totally different places in your life, but it was something about the way they kind of manipulated that in the movie, to where I'm like, okay, they kind of mesh. I can kind of see a decent conversation between the two of them. Whereas I've known a lot of situations like that personally, where I'm like, you can't even hold a conversation with this person. I mean, what is it? Is it a sex thing? What is it? Because
yeah, he seemed pretty mature for 20. He seemed like he was very mature.
Yes.
At first, in the beginning, I was like, why is she still talking to D and he's not paying her any attention? I would have walked out at that point in time. But he was just, but then by the time he walked to the door, and he was checking out her butt and everything, it was like, okay, he checking her, he digging her out, he was just letting her vent. And he was like, I'm not tripping with you. So you know, D was cool. And like I said, they did have a decent conversation. Now, when he showed up on the scene at the rehearsal, that might have been a deal breaker, but
Yeah, he was doing too much at that point because
doing
you
too
was
much at that point.
you damn
You,
stalker, yeah, don't be, But I think it said a lot about, meeting somebody on an intellectual level versus just focusing strictly on their age, and he did seem to be a little more mature than the, age they gave him, even the people they had him around, because, there were other people he was giving beats to that were around that seemed to be fairly immature, kind of like they're like, you still tripping on her,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the
I
fact
really
that
think that he was saying that the reason why he wasn't saying nothing, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
He was saying that he was really listening to her, whereas the rest of them, when they talk, they ain't talking about nothing. They just putting rhymes or something together, but she was actually spitting something that made sense.
Well, yeah, right.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. It did a good job depicting getting to know somebody or connecting with somebody on more of an intellectual level than just, their age or their, maybe you're attracted to them physically. I think it showed a little deeper attraction in reference to, a relationship, whatever their relationship is going to be.
And their shared connection of both losing their mom, of course, spoke to me.
Yeah.
But I think they touched on that a few times throughout the movie. And with him saying, you ever talk to your mom? And she's like, no, what would I say? And that those moments spoke to me. I mean, there was everything. I don't know that I didn't like a part of the movie. I would say just because of the battles they went to. It was the rap battle between the women, and it was so funny looking at. I think it was the first. It was the first lady that that was battling, and she just came across this extra masculine quality, which I'm like, okay, people said I'm a little still tomboyish and to this day. But that was just like, okay, you kind of a little over the top with the whole, persona of the rap game, I guess.
Yeah.
But then I had to think about it, and I'm like, some people are really that hood. Women are not. Like, they are really true to that, regardless. Like, and she was emulating the whole her stance, and I get it. I used to dance, so once you perform, you bring it all out. And she's with the whole gun, and she just all in the woman's face.
Yeah. She was over the top. She was over the top.
She is so serious right now. But that's probably the only part. But they all had skill, and it just spoke to me. The whole rap battle is a spoken word poetry feel, and you can actually hear what they're saying. Especially rap nowadays, you can't make out nothing.
Yes, Lord.
Not a word.
That's why I don't like it.
Yeah. So,
but this was different. Her rap game was totally different. You could understand every word. You were like, even my husband was like, okay.
Yeah, which I'm glad I continued to watch, because when I started it, a few minutes in, I'm like, I'm about to turn this off. Where is this going? And by the time it was over, because as the movie got going, I'm thinking to myself, I am so glad I didn't turn this off. And part of it is when I start watching it, I think it was right at 2 hours or a little over 2 hours. I'm like, who doing this for 2 hours? My time is valuable. I don't know that I'm going to be able. And when it was over, I was like, it just flew by, because to me, the movie was just so good. I got into it. I could relate to it. I think somewhere in the movie they were suggesting, didn't one of them suggest therapy to her?
I think so.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. In reference to, you know, some of the things she was dealing with as far as her mother. And I kind of like that part of it because in our culture, we don't do a whole lot of that, or we kind of frown upon that. To me, it just hit on so many areas that I just really thought was good. I hear it's possibly up for some awards. So we'll be watching and see where that goes.
Yeah.
So if you guys have not checked out 40-Year-Old Version, and that is VERSION, if you have Netflix, if not, just get somebody's login information.
So, what's the ratings on it? What's the ratings on it? Have you
know
heard?
what? I haven't looked to see.
Because they slammed Kevin Hart's little.
It should have been slammed. That's something totally different. It should have. That was horrible. But I would imagine, because I heard it's up for some awards, that it's probably getting good reviews. But you're right, I'm gonna have to look and see. After I watched it, I liked it so much, that's why I texted you. I was like, watch this and let's review it, because I just thought it was so good, but I wanted to see what you guys thought. That's why I didn't give it a whole lot of detail, a whole lot of feedback at the time, because I just wanted to get see what other people thought. And I don't know, is it Radha? I might have to hit you up so you can come on Pastel Pillow Talk and do an interview with us and find out why Nyree gave you a 5.
Like, wouldn't this be the second time she did that? Like,
okay.
Well, when y'all do that, don't put me on there with that woman. I don't hurt her feelings.
She gonna go ham on you.
I mean, like I said, like, to me, watching it, I just couldn't really
get into it.
Yeah, and like I almost turned it like you did. And the only reason why I kept watching it because of the kind of love story that it was conveying, and then like the man, he was funny. But like, I don't know, like all of that with the kids.
You know what? I think I'm gonna be honest with you. I think if you could relate to things in a movie, like what you're saying, I don't relate to this. I don't like rap. I don't. So I think the more you can relate to the movie, the more you will like it.
Yeah.
Certain aspects, like the humor, is just hilarious to me. I could not stop. And Nari, you better watch it again. It was so many scenes in there. I'm like, that's some stuff we'd be doing. That's a look we would give. That's some slick we would say. I'm serious. Yeah. So that's what really made me. I'm like, that dry humor is so us.
Yes.
Really. Yeah. And then I'm not big on the older, younger. But the reason I like that part of it is because it depicted a relationship with two people that were not of the same generation, but kind of on the same level. And it wasn't because the older person was silly. You see what I'm saying? It had to get a younger person because you can't deal with an older person. It showed the younger person being on an intellectual level and show them being at enough maturity to see past. I think even the fact, now she's the writer and the star and the director, but I think the fact she chose to star in that movie, and because I'm sure it had a lot to do with being about herself, but being a bigger woman, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad they didn't go get some skinny 40-year-old actress to try to play it, because then that made the situation between her and him more significant.
Yeah.
Because you so far beyond all of that superficial, on the surface stuff. You see what I'm saying? That you really are looking for something a little bit deeper. Like I say, whether it ended up they just stayed friends or it was going to go further than that, you were willing to attempt it because you saw something more than a superficial. So just go ahead.
He even commented on that when she was drinking that drink. He was like, "You don't need to lose weight. Like, she was perfect how she was." And a lot of times, like you say, a lot of people are so superficial to where it's about the glam and bam and you know what I'm
Right.
saying. So I
Right.
like that he genuinely accepted her
Yeah.
and woke up that sleepy giant just as she was. So that was
Yeah.
inspiring to me, you know. So it was
Yes.
just many parts in the movie that
Right.
I liked.
Yeah, me
And
too.
that's why I say it remind me of Fat Girls and all of that. How Monique was the same way when she was big and met the
Yeah.
little man and all that. But we know that that's like, you know what I'm saying? That stuff do not work out because I promise you, even as a married woman, married
You
to the
know.
same person, we all go through those. I don't care who you is, you get tired of looking at the same person or whatever. And
Mary, I am not tired of looking at my husband.
well, I ain't saying like just tired, like I just wanna, but I'm just saying it just like you be attracted in other places sometimes. And it happens. Even Tyler Perry was saying that, I mean, well, that's what make marriage beautiful because you got to keep working at it. It's work, you know,
Yeah.
but you're not gonna not tempted. So just imagine he's 20 something and she 40. Okay, what happens in 10 years? Is he still gonna like her or want her like that? Or
Hell, she's still gonna like him.
that's what my point is.
Look,
That's what
That's
I'm saying.
anybody. That's
but
anybody. I don't know
I have a significant age difference in my husband of
No,
9
you
years.
don't.
That's 9 years. That ain't
Keisha.
no
Are y'all 9 years apart?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, girl, I was thinking about like 6 or something.
I'm thanking you for that, Keisha, because there's plenty of relationships
so,
I know that has the big difference, and
you might get on my nerves sometimes, but that's not gonna make me step out and do
But
or
Keisha,
look
26
at
and
somebody.
40 is a big difference. I'm telling
Yeah.
you, by the time she started going through menopause and all that,
Yeah.
honey, he gonna be looking at them 30-year-olds or the next 40 at his 30 or whatever. I mean, that's just, I don't know, that's just me thinking that way because I rarely find people lasting that long with that big age difference. I ain't seen it yet.
But and who's to say that's the even angle they were going? I'm glad they didn't actually focus on the sexuality of that movie.
They
It
weren't
could have been a
focusing on their
friendship.
relationship at all. I think they were focusing on her getting ready to turn 40, evaluating herself, seeing had she reached where she wanted to be at that age. Because y'all know some of the struggles that I've been going through here recently. I was just sitting there telling my husband the other day, I done busted my ass all these years. I ain't never just had one job or just one thing going on because when I got here, I wasn't supposed to have to keep doing it. I'm still working toward, y'all know the stuff I'm trying to do with the shop, with my house, building my house. And, you start evaluating the choices that you have made up until this point that was supposed to do one thing.
Yeah.
Lead you to your passion, to what you're passionate
but
about.
You might still be working toward that one thing. And I think what she did is she realized that she wasn't happy. Now, I don't know that she should have gave up the playwriting because I think she had a passion for that. So I don't know if turning to rap was the answer, but it was working for the moment because she apparently still had that passion for it.
And that was another thing, like you let those people, you really went with that whole thing with your little buddy and all that because you knew before the play even went on that it wasn't going to be the way that you wanted it to be. That's why you didn't even go.
Okay, but Nary, really think about it. Do we do that in our own lives?
No, I know. Jobs? I'm just saying. No, I'm saying
I know to pay her rent. She need a check. So yeah, I'm gonna let.
No, I'm just saying that she knew that, so it was just like, okay, do it because maybe get my foot in the door to meet somebody that the right person, whatever. That's why we do a lot of stuff, take chances. Because we're risk takers for starters. And so I think the whole rap thing was just like that was another something in her that she realized that, she used to be Colette doing when she was 19 or 20 or whatever. So, but again, you guys, like you and Ray, and I'm not excluding you, Keisha, because I don't know what you are advancing toward, but y'all, the reason why, you feel like you ain't supposed to be here like where you are, you're supposed to already be further or whatever, because you are steady reaching toward a goal mark. Y'all have goals and y'all have things that you putting in.
So what you're saying is she should have already had a goal 10 years ago and be working toward it. You don't think you can set a goal at 40?
No, it's not that you can't set a goal at 40, but to start trying to believe in yourself at 40 and all that, it just seemed like, okay, you don't know where you want to go or what you want to do before then.
Some
Still
people
going to
don't.
school. I'm
Some
still
people
going to
don't.
school.
So I'm
Now,
gonna be
Reese,
honest with you. Some people don't. So should they just say, well, I didn't set this goal at 20, or I didn't set the goal at 30, so forget it.
No,
so
I'm not saying to just forget it. That's what I'm saying. Some people, like I'm saying, for her, I guess what I'm trying to say is where she is, and the reason why she's steady trying to advance and all this and that is because she had to go to, she had something that she wanted to do, and she's evaluating herself. Even though now I'm 40, I'm going through all of these things of where I want to be. Like Ray Ray just said, now she's reevaluating. Now she don't really want to work in the hospital field no more. She wants to own her own whatever, have her own business, doing what she likes to do.
That's a new goal. She
Right.
stop it. You too old. You should have did.
well, that's just like I'm 46.
She-
Should I stop not going to school and try to get my degree because I'm old and married, and because that's something I set out?
Okay, so when you get your degree, are you trying to get this goal of degree to get a better paying job? I mean, why are you doing it?
So are you saying be
I'll go
specific in your goals?
It's a personal achievement to make, because it'll allow me to, as far as in the business world, they'll look at that degree and I can better myself, position myself for a better job, better retirement. And also internally, this is a goal that I set out before I had kids, and it's something I reevaluated to say, this is something I wanted to achieve. Rather, I didn't get a chance to do it while I had kids at an early age. So let me go ahead and continue what I set out to do
So that's your reason. You had kids at an early age, so now you're trying to, now you have the time to do it. So now you're advancing to where, like, I'm not saying people don't have goals because they're 40 or whatever. I'm just saying that you're not. It goes back to contentment. If I ain't content with something, yeah, I don't went to school at 42, just trying to get finished. I mean, I've done it too, but that's something that I want to do, and I still haven't been able to do it because I really just need to focus on that. But in the meanwhile, I still got to work. I still got to take care of stuff, and I got to live. So it's like where I am now, what I'm doing now is it's working for me. It ain't got me where I got to keep trying to soul search because I'm not unhappy with where I am. That's what I'm saying. That's all.
Okay. I hear you. Hopefully I can get Radha to come on here and you can explain it to I'm still messing with
you. I ain't gonna come on her because she's gonna be like, off of her. Because everybody is just, like I said, it's to each his own. Everybody has their own. But that's what this talk is about, to get a feeling what your thoughts is. Like, I'm sure somebody thinks like I think.
Well, yeah, and just like me, in whatever business I have going on, I want all opinions. And I want all honest opinions. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody is different. So it depends on what I'm trying to get out there. And I want to know if I succeeded or not. And I may have succeeded with some and not so much with others, but you need all that feedback. So you guys go check out 40-Year-Old Version. Thanks for hanging out with us. Please leave comments below and let us know what you think if you've seen it. Or if you haven't seen it, but you plan to check it out, leave that down in the comment section. Say, hey, I'm going to go check this out. Hit the like button. Go subscribe to Thai TV. Check out some of the other episodes from Pastel Pillow Talk. We're still on Zoom, but hopefully not much longer. Okay?
Exactly.
So thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.